perfect, and it's regardless of what pellicist mode you're in. I feel comfortable, like, let's see if I can go without my hands on the handlebar.
What's up, y'all? So I think I received the best value moped style e-bike as of 2025. Now I say that because although this bike is like under $1,300 with my discount code in the description below, this bike comes with two motors. So a 1,000-watt motor in the front and another one in the back, but it also comes with a 52-volt, 25-amp-hour battery. Advertised to go up to 80 miles per charge, but of course I'm going to test that out. And it comes with a torque sensor. Now I love torque sensors over like cadence sensor. I think it makes pedaling a lot smoother, but I'll get into why I think it's better later on in this video. So the bike that I received is an EUYBIKE S4 Pro. You can also get this in a Pro Max version, which has a 30-amp-hour battery. And my favorite folding bike at the moment is an EUYBIKE. It's called the EUYBIKE K6 Pro. And what I like the most about that folding bike is the comfort, like the dual suspension, the handlebar, just a very sturdy bike for a folding bike. So hopefully I'll have that same level of comfort on this bike. This bike with the battery weighs 90 pounds. Maximum weight of the rider is 400 pounds. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one just because I love the EUYBIKE K6 Pro. Hopefully I like this bike too, you know what I mean? But I'm usually hit or miss on moped style e-bikes because the seats are not adjustable. So a lot of times these seats are just too low for me at 5'11", 6 feet with shoes on, but we'll see. To purchase this e-bike, feel free to use my link and my code in the description below to get a discount. Also, I am doing an e-bike giveaway. If you want to be included in this giveaway, you have to be subscribed to the channel and comment below on what type of e-bike you would like. So what I'm going to do is unbox this, put it together, go through all of the features, go on-road, go off-road, maybe ride to an urban area, see what it's like using this in an urban area. So this is what the bike looks like without the wrapping. Does look like it came with two boxes. One is here and the other one is under the bike there. I'm assuming that is the battery. But this bike came packaged really well. It had all this additional foam around the body of the bike. So this is what the bike looks like without the wrapping. It doesn't look like anything was damaged, and this seems like a light frame without the battery, so that's good. So we're going to have to put our front wheel on, which has a motor in it. And this front wheel has a, what's that, Crusade tire on it. Never had a bike from Crusade before, but I would like a little bit more grip, but I guess we'll see. It's the Kinder tire.
It's a Kinder tire.
We have to install our handlebar, which is attached via wires. Also going to have to install our front fender. So let's see what's in the smaller box first. Looks like it came with a user manual, so let's look into it. Looks like the instructions are pretty easy to follow. I love it when they include pictures. These are high quality pictures at that, right? The manual also includes our advanced settings, which is really a plus. A lot of e-bike companies don't show you the advanced settings. Information about the warranty here. Came with our pedals, which are labeled, a bunch of zip ties, and we'll see what that's for. Standard hexagon wrench set, which we're not going to use. I like mine much better, but we will be using these wrenches here. Real light was already installed, but what was not installed is these turning signals. So maybe that's what that's for. We put that on the rear light. Like a box in here has our nice beefy headlight. We have our charger to charge our 52-volt battery. And obviously the second box had our 52-volt battery in it. So the first thing we're going to do is, I guess the hardest thing to do, which is put our front wheel on with the motor. Before we do that, we're going to go ahead and remove this from the brakes. Oh, and this here is to install your headlight. So there is a washer with a hook on it that we're going to put on this axle, and so we're going to put that there. So now we're going to make sure when we put our front fork on, it's going down on it that way. And be careful not to pull this motor cord that's on the other side of the wheel here. You don't want to pull it too much. You turn it just a little bit. We're going to turn that up. It slides right in place. Please look at this arrow on your front wheel to make sure that you installed it the right way, the right direction. This is where we put the cord for that front motor. So it's on the outside a little bit, right here. We got this bike put together. This was by far the easiest dual motor e-bike that we've ever assembled. Putting on that front wheel was really easy. So this is a pretty compact moped style e-bike. It's about 5 feet 4 inches from wheel to wheel. The handlebar, which is kind of adjustable, where we have it at now, is like 3 feet 4 inches from the floor. The seat, again, which is not adjustable, is about 2 feet 9 inches from the floor. So far, I do like the durability of these Kinder tires, but I'm not a fan of how slick they can be sometimes. Curious on how it's going to perform in our off-road test. So I do like the frame of this e-bike. It's pretty narrow for a moped style e-bike. It doesn't have like a really wide body, even though it does have a wide battery. But all in all, I will say this is a good looking moped style e-bike. But let me know what y'all think. Look at that suspension. And I've had this suspension on a few other e-bike, almost always delivers. And I do like coil suspensions over like air suspension. I think they give you more rebound. Give y'all a look at this rear suspension. And what you're hearing is those tires. We also have suspension in the front of the bike, and you can adjust the compression of that suspension. Usually motorcycle style front forks like this with this kind of air compression adjustable suspension, usually it also delivers. If you want to lock out your suspension, you can turn it this way. If you want to open up your suspension, then you turn it that way. We're going to go ahead and open it up all the way here. If y'all look at this front suspension, a nice long and seems like it's pretty comfortable banana style seat. It's about 1 feet 9 inches long, but it does protrude up here. It's about 6.5 inches wide. Get a look at our rear and front 203 millimeter Logan hydraulic brake. Loving the steel aluminum style chain wheel cover. I think the plastic ones, they just get damaged way too easily. Handlebar is pretty wide for a moped style e-bike. It's about 2 feet 5 inches wide. It looks like we have your standard hard rubbery handlebar grip. We have your standard Shimano 7 gear shifter. We can use the keys that came with the bike, basically put here so that we can take our battery out. On the other side is where you would charge your battery. We've made sure that the battery is turned on, so we're now going to go ahead and turn on our bike with this button at the top of our panel. So we have these buttons. We have a button at the bottom and one at the top. We're going to press and hold this one at the top in order to turn our colorful display on. The first thing I want to mention is this image here of a man on a bike. That does show you whether you're using one of your motors or you're using both of your motors, and you can change that by clicking and holding this button at the bottom of your panel. So if I'm gonna press and hold it, you see now that lit up, let me know I'm using my motor in the back. I press and hold it again,
I'm now using the one in the front. I press and hold it again. I'm now using both of my motors. Looks like as soon as you turn your bike on, your headlight does come on, but it's a dim light. I'm not a fan of this because I feel like it drains your battery unnecessarily. But if I press and hold the plus button, that switches my dim light to a really bright light. And that also turns my extremely noticeable rear light on. A lot of crazy stuff going on back here. And that rear light is also a brake light. If I'm in front of you, is this light driving you crazy? If I click this button, looks like we also have a highly noticeable turning signal in the back. Looks like we have a horn. That's pretty loud. We do have a twist throttle for throttle only. We do have a USB charger under your display that you can use to charge your phone. So this bike does have advanced settings. To go into those advanced settings, we're going to press and hold the plus and the minus button. Alright, to go from one setting to the next, we click this button at the bottom of your panel. And we're not going to go through all of them, but we will go through some of them. This BL5 is how bright do I want my display. Click the button at the bottom of your panel to go to your next setting. That's how do we want to calculate our speed, miles per hour or kilometers. We're going to keep it at miles per hour. This is if you want to clear out your trip mileage. We're going to click Y on that. From this menu, we're going to press and hold our minus and this button that's under the panel. We're going to press and hold both of those. And that takes us to another menu here. This is the diameter of our wheel. We're going to keep that where it is. We're going to click this button at the bottom of our panel again to get to our limit speed. So this is where we can adjust just how fast the e-bike can go. Pretty sure that's in miles per hour. So it looks like it's a maximum of 31 miles per hour, so we're going to keep it there. And hold the bottom of the panel to go back here, but then we're going to go back into that initial advanced settings screen. Now we have an additional menu if we press and hold the plus and the minus button from there, and we're going to skip this one. We don't want to do anything there, so we're going to press the plus button. We are going to go into this. I just want to show you this, so we're going to quickly click the button at the bottom of my panel. Here, that says mode 1 through 5. If I click this button at the bottom of my panel again, here you can adjust, and I'm going to click the button at the bottom of my panel to go from one to the next. You can adjust how much power you get per pedal assist mode. I'm going to keep all that the same so we can see what it's like fresh out the box. And if you did want to create a password for this screen, you can do that here. So I didn't see the pedal assist sensitivity, but if you know how to get into your pedal assist sensitivity, comment below, let me know. But you think the suspension is decent so far?
So far it's decent, but the ultimate test we haven't done is going to be over there.
EUYBIKE, moped style e-bike. What are your thoughts? Too short.
Really?
Way too short for you?
It's for a child.
And how tall are you?
I'm 5'6". It's a decent bike.
Okay.
It's a decent bike.
Okay.
However, if you're over the age of 15,
If you're over age 15.
it's a good bike because I like it because it's fast. I like the tires. The suspension I get a suspension a solid 8.
8, okay.
The turns are amazing.
Okay.
Amazing. It's easy on the turns.
Okay.
And it's easy to go real fast.
Yeah.
This is my hip. This is my hip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The display is good. I think that the brakes are good. Some with the squeakiness, we need to fix that.
Yeah, on the left brake, yeah.
Yeah. All in all, good. The only thing is the bike is short, and the seat isn't necessarily the best for me. Like thick thighs come in all different sizes, but they're gonna run. Every pedal is gonna go.
Okay, it's gonna rub up against the pole on the side there. I guess give me 2 ratings. One if you're over 5'6", one if you're under 5'5".
Over 5'6", I'm gonna give this bike a 6.
A 6?
Under 5'5", this bike is a solid 8.5.
8.5. Okay.
So we're not gonna try out these Kinder tires. Now my experience with Kinder tires is they are pretty durable, but they're just not very grippy, or not grippy enough for my liking, but maybe these are different. Not so much. I do feel a little slipping here, but it did just rain, so I don't know. Let's brake. I like a little bit more grip on my tire, but Kinder tires are pretty durable. So although the body and the dimensions of this e-bike is very suitable to do leans and your turns, I don't feel comfortable leaning in this bike a whole lot just because of the tires. The Kinder tires, I think they're just a little too slick for me to feel comfortable doing a whole lot of leaning. But the body of the bike and the wide handlebar is very suitable for leaning. You know, so I would say change out the tires, get a more grippy tire. And again, I like leaning in turns because I feel like it gives you more control of your turn, especially with bikes that are lower to the ground like this one. So we're now gonna go off-road with some hills. Test out the suspension, test out the tires. I guess the durability of the tires mainly, but let's see. Oh man. So far so good on the suspension, I'm not even gonna lie to you. This combination of suspension, the adjustable front fork and the motorcycle style front fork and this coil suspension in the back almost always delivers. Going here. Oh yeah, that's up there. Yep, that is up there. Great job on the suspension, man. Wow. It's really absorbing a lot of the bumps and cracks. I am getting a little slipping here, but it did just rain and I do have Kinder tires, so that explains the slipping. But suspension is great. I'd say moped style e-bikes, this is definitely in my top 5. I would have to ride it more to figure out exactly what number it is, but yeah, definitely in my top 5. The combination of suspension in the back and the front and the comfortable seat absorbs a lot of the cracks, makes the bike very, very comfortable. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, man, I get a suspension. Let's see, go down here. Oh wow. Yeah, scale of 1 to 10, I get a suspension like a 9. Now I would also like to mention the pedal assist on this bike in single motor, pretty much perfect, and it's regardless of what pedal assist mode you're in. See, I'm in mode 1. Look like I go 10 miles per hour in mode 1. Let's switch it to mode 3. But this is why I really like a torque sensor over like more of a speed or cadence sensor. Yeah, the brake definitely needs some lube on it, but what I like about the torque sensors is it's not just trying to get to the max speed for the mode that you're in. It's taking into account how hard you're pedaling. That makes the bike so much more comfortable. So yeah, let's try that mode 3 thing again. Mode 3, okay, about 23 miles per hour. Let's try those brakes out again. Yeah, a little loud, but great brakes, nevertheless. But yeah, pedal assist, pretty much perfect in single motor. In dual motor, it is gonna send you a little bit, but it's still not like a speed sensor. Like you still feel like your pedals are being considered. So for moped style e-bikes, when it comes to comfort, this bike is in my top 3 for sure. I feel really comfortable on this bike, and that's even though this bike is a little too short for me. My knees are coming up just a little higher than I would like. But if I was to get a booster, I think I might even keep this e-bike, you know what I mean? But it's really, really comfortable. I think it's because it has a heavy battery, but the body of the bike is pretty light. And maybe it's because of the angle of the front fork is not too extreme, but I feel comfortable. Like, let's see if I can go without my hands on the handlebar. Let's see, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit. And I normally can't do this at all on a moped style e-bike, so I'm not saying you do this. And the seat is pretty comfortable too. I've been on the bike for about an hour now. I don't feel a whole lot of pain. So we're now gonna go max speed, single motor, pedal assist. And again, in single motor, I think the pedal assist is pretty perfect. We're gonna see about dual motor, but single motor, perfect pedal assist. Feel like my pedal's still being considered. So out of this turn, we're gonna try to gun it if there's no cars coming. So 22, 24, 25, 26, 27. Again, still feel comfortable. 28, 29, 30. Still feel comfortable. Feel like I can keep up with the motor. Alright, so I say 29 to 30 miles per hour. We're now gonna go max speed, dual motor pedal assist. I'll take off right away. Now, I'm not super comfortable going dual motor on this bike yet, but I'll do it for the video because of the tires. You know what I mean? The tires are kind of slick, so when you hit a high speed, you kind of feel just a little bit of slipping. And I think that's because both tires are rotating so fast and they're a little slick. So 23. 26. Oh, I'm getting up there quick now. 31. Still feel comfortable pedaling though. 32, 33. Okay, a little bit of ghost pedaling now. 33. That's a little. Yeah, I feel a little slick turning with both of the tires spinning so fast, but I'll try again. 28, 30. Yeah. All right, well, I got up to 33 miles per hour. So we're not gonna go max speed, throttle only, single motor. So we're gonna see just how fast we go on single motor without me having to pedal. Look like it gradually went up to 24 miles per hour. Single motor, thing very smooth, very gradual. All right, 27, 28, 31. That's the real gradual 31. So we're not gonna try max speed, throttle only. Go max speed here. Dual motor. And look like we got up to 28 a lot quicker, right? 29, 30, 31. 32, 33, 34. That dual motor feels weird, like it feels like the bike is slipping a little bit, but it's not slipping, so I'll say 33, 34 miles per hour, max speed, throttle only, dual motor. Now I think this is a great bike for the street because it's so heavy, and because you have all the bells and whistles you need in the street, you know, and it's a pretty smooth ride, but you got your headlight, your rear light, your turn signals, nice, wide, heavy bike. Don't think it's going to easily be swayed by the wind, so I think this is a great bike for the streets. And you have a long-range battery, at least it seems long range so far. We haven't tested out the range yet, but because this bike is pretty compact, I think this is also a great bike for urban areas. Because it is so short, also because it's short, and the seat is not adjustable, my knees come up a little higher than I would like, and that's even when I scoot all the way back on the bike. But you can go through some pretty tight corners, like in narrow walkways like I'm on right now. And so because of that, I would say this bike is really good for urban areas. We're gonna go max speed, throttle only, dual motor, up a hill. This is a pretty steep hill. It's about a 35, 40 degree hill. Hill also has a turn on it. So we're gonna see how much speed we lose going up this hill. So it looks like we're going 30 miles per hour. to the hill now. Still at 30. 29. 28. 27. 26. 25. 24. 23. 22. Alright, so we lost about 8 miles.
EUYBIKE S4 Pro Max. I think this is a really decent moped style e-bike, especially for the price. What I like the most about this bike is the comfort. And that's especially with the full suspension. Like this is, I would say, in my top 3 regarding moped style e-bike regarding the suspension. I do think it having a large battery but a kind of light frame gives you a lot of control of this e-bike and makes your e-bike ride that more comfortable. I love the pedal assist regardless of which mode you're on. In single motor, the pedal assist for me was pretty much perfect. I really felt like how hard I pedal was being considered. Really stable ride. Like, it's one of the few moped style e-bikes where I felt comfortable pedaling without my hand on the handlebar. I love all the bells and whistles, the headlight, a rear light, turning signals, a USB charger to charge your phone. I love that you can change things like your limit speed as well as how fast you go per mode. I didn't see the pedal assist sensitivity though. This bike is a bit too short for me at 5'11", 6 feet with shoes on, but this is one of those moped style e-bikes where although it's short, I like it so much where I'm thinking, okay, could I get a booster to put on this seat so that I could keep this bike, you know what I'm saying? I do wish the tires were a bit more grippy, especially in dual motor. You can experience a little bit of slipping. I think it's because of these Kinder tires, so I would be replacing these tires, even though they are very durable, with a more grippy tire. The battery life was okay. I went on a 20-mile bike ride. I spent 1 mile max speed, dual motor throttle only, another mile max speed, dual motor pedal assist. I spent about 6 miles going max speed, single motor pedal assist, and then the rest of the time I was in like mode 3. In that 20 miles I lost 4 out of 9 battery bars, so that's more like 50 miles per charge based on my bike ride. So on a scale from 1 to 10, I would give this e-bike a 9. So comment below on what you'll give this e-bike on a scale from 1 to 10. Any other e-bike you want me to review, also comment below. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.
What?